Okay, so for today's video, we're going to take a quick look at adding and subtracting integers. So one of the most common ways that we use to add integers is actually by using the column method, which is something that you may be familiar with. So for this first example of 382 plus 213, we'd set it out in the column method, so we'd have 382 plus 213. So now we have all the corresponding columns aligned, all the units, the tens and the hundreds. So then we're going to work our way down the column, starting from the right-hand side. So to begin with, I'd have 2 add 3, which is 5. I'd then have 8 plus 1, which is 9. And then finally, I'd have 3 add 2, which is 5. And my final answer to this would be 595. Okay, for this next example, we have 479 plus 584. So again, starting with the right-hand side first, I'm going to do 9 add 4 first, which is 13. So because we have 13, we'd have the 3 from the units, which goes in the units column. And then I'd have the 1, which represents a 10. So I'm going to bring that over to the tens column, and I'm going to write it underneath here. So now for the tens column, I've got 7 add 8, which is 15. But then I've got to remember to add that 1, which I brought over a second ago, so that's actually 16. So I'm going to write the 6 in the tens column, but then I've got to carry that 1 over to the hundreds column. Then for the hundreds column, we've got 4 add 5, which is 9, but then we've got to add on that 1 that we brought over, so that would be 10. So our final answer for this question would be 1063. Okay, I've got some more examples for us to try now, so feel free to pause the video here and have a go at these, and we'll go through the answers in just a few seconds. Okay, for this first one, we have 485 add 313. So to begin with the right-hand column, we have 5 add 3, which is 8, 8 add 1, which is 9, and then 4 add 3, which is 7. So our answer to this one would be 798. Okay, moving on to this next question, we have 891 add 104. So again, starting with the right-hand column first, we have 1 add 4, which is 5. We then have 9 add 0, which is 9. And then we have 8 add 1, which is also 9. So our final answer to this one would be 995. Okay, for our next question, we have 1,579 add 434. So starting with the right-hand column again, we have 9 add 4, which is 13. So I'd put a 3 in this column, and then I'd carry over the 1. I've then got 7 add 3, which is 10. Add the 1 is 11. So we put the 1 in here, and then carry over the 1 to this column. We then have 5 add 4, which is 9. Add on the 1, which is 10. So I'd put the 0 here and carry the 1 over. I then have 1 add 8, which is 9. Add the 1, which is again 10. So I'd put 10 there. So the final answer to this question would actually be 10,013. And for this final question here, we have 5,432 plus 5,846. So again, we always start with the right-hand column. So 2 add 6 is 8. 3 add 4 is 7. 4 add 8 is 12. So I put the 2 in this column and carry over the 1. Then I have 5 add 5, which is 10. Add the 1, which is 11. So we can put our 11 there. So our final answer to this question would be 11,278. Okay, well done if you followed those questions okay. We're now going to take a look at some questions on subtracting integers. Okay, for questions when we subtract integers, we're also going to use the column method again. So for this first question, we'd have 489 take away 254. And just like the questions we've done with addition, we're going to start from the right-hand column. So to begin with, I've got 9 take away 4, which is 5. I've then got 8 take away 5, which is 3. And then we have 4 take away 2, which is 2. So our answer to this would be 235. Okay, we're going to set up this next question exactly the same way. So we'd have 738 take away 475. Okay, again, so starting from the right-hand column, I'd have 8 take away 5, which is 3. But now I've got a bit of a problem, because if I've got 3 take away 7, which is actually negative 4. So what I'm going to do now to make sure I don't have a negative number is to borrow 1 from the next column along. So I'm going to move over to this 7, and I'm going to borrow 1 from the 7. So 7 would become 6, and then I bring that 1 over, and I put it with the 3, so the 3 would now be 13. So now I've got 13 take away 7, which is 6. And then finally now I've got 6 take away 4, which is 2. So our final answer to that question is 263. Okay, and to finish off for today, we're going to take a look at some more examples. If you want to have a go at these first, feel free to pause the video here, and we'll go through the answers in just a few seconds. Okay, for this first question, we have 723 take away 415. So starting with the right-hand column, I've got 3 take away 5. That would actually give me a negative number, so I'm going to borrow from the next column along. So this 2 now becomes a 1. I bring this 1 over, so now I've got 13 take away 5, which is 8. I've now got 1 take away 1, which is 0. And finally, 7 take away 4 is 3. So our final answer to this is actually 308. Moving along, we have 453 take away 164. So to begin with, I have 3 take away 4. That would actually give me a negative. So I'm going to borrow 1 from the 5, so that becomes 4. So now I've got 13 take away 4, which is 9. I've now got 4 take away 6. Again, that's going to give me a negative number, so I'm going to move along to my next column, which is the 4. I'm going to take 1 away from that, so that becomes a 3, and then that 1 goes in front of the 4 in the column next to it. So now I've got 14 take away 6, which is 8. And finally, I've got 3 take away 1, which is 2. So our final answer to this question would be 289. Okay, this next question, we've got 2,375 take away 1,549. Okay, so starting from the right, we've got 5 take away 9. That'd give us a negative, so I'm going to borrow 1 from this 7. So the 7 would become a 6. I've now got 15 take away 9, which is 6. We then do 6 take away 4, which is 2. We've then got 3 take away 5 again. That's going to give us a negative, so we borrow from the next column along. So this 2 becomes a 1. So the 1 comes over. I now have 13 take away 5, which is 8. And then finally, I have 1 take away 1, which is actually 0. So our final answer to this question is just 826. And for our final question today, we have 54,485 take away 27,394. So as we've done with all of these, starting from the right-hand column, we have 5 take away 4, which is 1. We then have 8 take away 9, which would give us a negative number, so we're going to borrow from the 4. 4 becomes 3, and then we put our 1 in front of the 8. So we'd have 18 take away 9, which is 9. We've then got 3 take away 3, which is 0. We then have 4 take away 7. Again, that would give us a negative, so I'm going to borrow from the 5, which would then become a 4. Bring the 1 across, so now I've got 14 take away 7, which is 7. And finally, I have 4 take away 2, which is 2. So our final answer to this question is 27,091. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. If there are any specific topics at all that you'd like me to go through next, then please just let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to go through those topics as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.